My friends, welcome back to Unpopular Opinion. And recently, I've been rewatching some of my favorite movies, and I've noticed a pattern that a lot of the movies I hold nearest and dearest to my heart always seem to lose winning Best Picture to movies that aren't as deserving. So, today, we're counting down the top 10 greatest movies that should have won Best Picture. Now, to qualify, for this list, the movie in question had to have been nominated for the Academy Award of Best Picture and lost to a movie that was underwhelming, undeserving, and inferior. So movies that weren't nominated but should have been, like Full Metal Jacket, do not count. Also, great films that were beat by other movies that were of equal or superior status, like The Shawshank Redemption or Apollo 13, don't count either, since the winner was more deserving. So sit back, relax, and let's count down the top 10 greatest films that should have won the Oscar for Best Picture. By the way, these aren't in any specific order or anything. These are just the 10 most deserving defeated films. Number 10, Deliverance.
Come on, squeal! Squeal!
Deliverance is one of the greatest films of all time, and it's an amazing watch. It's a perfect realistic horror movie, and I know it's not a horror movie, but it's one of those kinds of stories that you'd hear around a campfire, or a true scary thing that happened to a friend of yours. If you know me, you know I love true horror stories and Mr. Nightmare, and this is one of those things that would definitely be featured there, because this is totally plausible. 4 city dwellers go on a canoe trip in rural Georgia, but it turns into a fight for survival when things go south, and they struggle to make it out alive. It's unfortunate that this movie came out the same year as The Godfather, because it's totally trapped in the shadow of that film, since it's described by many as the greatest movie of all time. Personally, I believe Deliverance truly should have won Best Picture, not The Godfather, and this is the film that turned Burt Reynolds into a star. Number 9, The Exorcist. The Exorcist was made by one of my favorite directors, William Friedkin. This film is what I like to call an immortal movie, a movie that no matter what time period it is, people will always know about it and will still watch it, and it'll still have the same effect as it did when it came out. It's going to stand the test of time, not only as one of the scariest movies, but as one of the best. It smashed at the box office and took over the world with how popular it was. That's why it's so shocking and bizarre that it lost. Number 8, The Green Mile. Tom Hanks is my favorite actor, and Stephen King is my favorite writer, so the combination of them both on one project makes for a powerfully tragic film. It's amazing that a movie with such sentimental acting actually is a moving film to me. The Green Mile is about a man who finds one of the greatest miracles in the most depressing place, death row, and his struggles with his own conscience. This movie is so good, and it has an amazing musical score that takes you away. Number 7, Sgt York. Sgt York tells the true story of one of America's greatest heroes. It's about Alvin C. York, a religious man who was the most decorated American soldier of the First World War. Alvin York was to World War I what Chris Kyle was to the Iraq War. He captured 132 Germans all by himself and killed 28 of them. This movie had such an amazing battle scene and an appropriate patriotic tone to it. It deserved so much more than it got, and it's really upsetting that this movie, or the story that inspired it, isn't well known to the public. Number 6, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Indiana Jones.
That's right, probably the most iconic character of all time and one of the most beloved movies of all time, lost to a movie that's only going to be remembered because of its theme song, Chariots of Fire. But do I even have to explain why this movie should have won? It's such a fun action-adventure movie that it's an epic watch for anyone of all ages. Every kid I know wanted to be Indiana Jones, and it figures. Raiders of the Lost Ark was awesome. It had great music, great action scenes, and was put together incredibly by George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. Not to mention, it spawned an equally great and epic franchise. Number 5, Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks is back, and so is Spielberg, and it's mind-boggling that this war epic didn't get the Oscar for Best Picture. It lost to Shakespeare in Love, which was so bad. In fact, when announcing the winner for Best Picture, even Harrison Ford seemed disappointed. Saving Private Ryan has awesome battle scenes, amazing star power, great acting, and is beloved by moviegoers of all genres. I'm almost positive members of the Academy cringe and regret passing over this movie. Number 4, Star Wars. The most well-known movie with the most popular music and the most quotable quotes couldn't get a break. Even though it won a lot of other awards that night and became a juggernaut at the box office, Star Wars lost to Annie Hall, which is so bad and so boring. It makes trigonometry look fun. Star Wars was a really fun space opera that features amazing characters, revolutionary special effects, and awesome action. Not to mention one of the greatest catchphrases ever.
May the Force be with you.
Star Wars is a movie that is known across the civilized world and is loved by many, many people. Number 3, American Sniper.
The thing that haunts me are all the guys that I couldn't save. I'm willing and able to be there, but I'm not. I'm here. I quit.
This is an amazingly powerful and totally sobering view of war. This is the biopic of American hero Chris Kyle. This movie is brilliant, not only because it masterfully captures the horror of combat, but it shows the battle fought within once a soldier returns home from overseas, which is a whole different type of war. This is actually the highest grossing war film, and Bradley Cooper completely blew me away with his stellar performance. I always knew him as Phil, one of the idiots from the Hangover trilogy, but this totally defied expectations and made for an incredible experience. It's insane how Clint Eastwood himself never got nominated for Best Picture in this, but not only that, it lost to Birdman, and that was a horrible film. The Academy totally took a dump on this movie when it shouldn't have. Number 2, Apocalypse Now.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Straight up, no punches pulled, this is the most epic film ever made. It takes the war movie genre and elevates it to a whole nother level. This movie is about a U.S. Army colonel who goes insane during the Vietnam War and takes his men into neutral Cambodia, where he's worshipped like a god amongst the natives, and an assassin has to travel up the Nung River on a Navy patrol boat to kill him.
1st of the 9th was an old cavalry division, and it cashed in its horses for choppers and gone terrassing around Nam looking for the shit.
I can't explain or do justice trying to rationalize how incredible of a film this is, so I'm not even going to try. It's just accidentally brilliant and can never be made today. It's another perfect example of an immortal film. The battles were so amazing, the plot is legendary, and literally, I'm not even kidding when I'm saying this, I don't care how dumb this sounds, all the actors in this film should have gotten an Oscar. Even this guy who's blowing the bugle. I know that sounds dumb, but seriously, director Francis Ford Coppola thought this movie should have won or was going to win a Nobel Prize, and honestly, it should have. It isn't about war at all. It's about the spirit and soul of mankind, and seriously, you need to watch this amazing picture.
I don't see any method at all.
Number 1, Born on the 4th of July. Born on the 4th of July is probably the best coming home war movie, showing how life changes and is ruined for soldiers who come back from war. Oliver Stone is a favorite of mine, but this was his best directed picture, and it tells the true saga of Ron Kovic, an all-American patriotic young man who joins the Marine Corps in a stint to Vietnam. The battle scenes were intense and totally chaotic.
6-6 to National. Request emergency medevac. My cause. Got a lot of friendly wounded. Over.
But my friends, the real war starts when Ron comes home after being paralyzed in battle, and after having his heart broken by the total disrespect him and his fellow veterans receive.
I deserve to be treated for decent. Decent. I heard that right, you fuck. Vietnam don't mean nothing to me, man. Or any of these other people. You got it? You see, you can take your Vietnam and shove it up your ass. Go on, Marvin. Go on.
It shows his struggles with guilt, PTSD, and how his life is starting to crumble around him as he searches for new meaning in life. This is Tom Cruise at his finest, and this is how he should be remembered, as a dedicated actor and a legitimate performer. I'm not at all a Tom Cruise fan. I don't really like him too much, but no other actor could pull off portraying Ron Kovic. He did an incredible job. So coming from someone like me who's not a fan, that should be saying something. And he really should have won the Oscar for Best Actor, not Daniel Day-Lewis. This was a super sad movie, but it's powerful and should be seen by more people. The music was phenomenal, the subject matter was impeccable, and the heart was unmatchable. This is such an amazing movie.
You tell her, Dad! Tell her! It's a lie! It's a fucking lie! There's no God. God is as dead as my legs. There's no God. There's no country.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed my picks, and I hope you watch them, because these truly are some of the finest films ever made, and really deserve to be crowned kings of the movies for their year. If you like this video, please do us a solid and hit the like button, and help the channel out by clicking subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the next Unpopular Opinion.